Hi everyone from beautiful Miami.
Hey, we're excited to be talking to you guys from Miami.
Woohoo! Hey, today we're going to talk about why follow up with your real estate leads is so very important. And keep watching because we're going to reveal the two biggest hacks that can help you unleash the power of the follow up. And sorry that our internet's a little spotty. We are in Miami using hotel Wi Fi, so bear with us.
This is Real Estate with Elise and Jay.
And that's Jay, and I'm Elise. If you're a realtor, we would love to help you become the local market expert in your area. Our information is in the description.
That's right. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us, call, text, or email. Most realtors think that they need more leads and that more leads will solve their problem. But top producing agents understand that every lead that we generate requires more work in order to convert that lead or a percentage of those leads to clients that we can actually help. And eventually that means more closings and more money for us. So that's why follow-up is so important. In fact, having a follow-up process or a follow-up strategy, that's where the rubber meets the road, and follow-up can often make or break your career in real estate. Some top producers will even go further and they'll say that if you're not going to take every lead and work it to death until you get a firm no, then there's no sense at all in getting any leads. So here's just a broad example that most of us can recognize, but Zillow has something like 60 million visitors each month. Each one of those visitors could basically be considered a lead. And in the entire United States, we're only selling around 5 million homes a year. So you can see that there are millions and millions of people who aren't ready to buy right now. And in a nutshell, that's why we need a follow-up system. And that's why we also know that leads themselves aren't the problem. The fortune is in the follow-up. And the basic question is, what do I do with those leads after I get them to raise their hands and say they need some help? So just as a personal example, at one point in our careers, we had leads coming in, something like 200 or 300 a month. We did that for at least 12 months. And this is what we learned and how we learned a lot of this information about leads and follow-up and everything that we're talking about. It takes a lot of work to convert a lead to an appointment and then to a client. And also, we need a place to put those leads, like a CRM or at least a spreadsheet, so that we have an organized place where we can go and understand who we should be reaching out to at any given time. Or to put it another way, we needed a database, and we have some videos that you can watch on why a database is necessary and how to build one and how to market to a database. And you can follow our channel to look at those videos, but you need to have a place where you can put those leads, right? And then the third thing that we learned that we were going to need is a way to automate and reach out to our database in a personalized way. And that's a very tricky balance to do that. Happy to say I think we've accomplished that to a high degree. So here's what ultimately ended up happening with us. So we started running ads and bringing in leads. And like I said, we were doing pretty good at that. We're bringing in 200 or 300 leads a month. Now, here's the problem with that is, how do we keep up with all these leads? Because even if we're following the sales textbook and saying, okay, we're going to reach out or call 10 leads today, every day for the rest of our careers, then what happens tomorrow when we have 20 leads to call because we have the 10 that didn't answer yesterday and the 10 that we've got to call today? Or what happens in a week when we've got 50 leads because none of them have responded yet? And then we're also getting 10 new leads every day, right? Or what about 2 months from now when we have 500 people that we need to follow up with and 10 a day that we need to reach out to and start that conversation? So the worst thing that could happen with all of that stuff is going on, honestly, what if I get a new lead that becomes a client that wants to go see some houses, right? Now all of a sudden I'm really stuck because I'm even going to be further behind than I was, because while I'm out showing houses and doing all that stuff, working with the client, the new leads that are coming in the door are slipping through the cracks, right? And this starts stacking up month after month after month. And even worse, again, in my opinion, is now my entire job has basically become a telemarketer to call people on the phone, text them, see if they're busy, blah, 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 right? I'd much rather spend my time with clients or answering questions for people that are considering working with me so that I can help them so that they can plan and organize their next move. I'd much rather be doing that with my time than on the phone trying to prospect and follow up with everybody. So like I said, we did this for about 12 months. And at the end of that time, we closed really about 4 leads. And that's really because we were chasing these leads. And like I said, once you get busy with working with 1 or 2, these others are just slipping through the cracks. And then when you get back to them, they've already found another realtor or whatever is going on with them, right? And so we could only really get a hold of who are ready right now. And those were the ones that we ended up working with. And so the last thing I wanted to mention was closing the ones that we did close with. That was like winning the lottery. It was just random luck that we finally got in touch with somebody who was actually ready to do something right around that same time that we talked to them. Because when you're getting into that stuff, it's just so stressful and so not a business plan to just dial and pray and hope somebody answers that's ready to go right now. And just another side note is I definitely think anything that is worth doing in marketing is worth doing for at least a year. Give it 12 months to see how it really works out. We've tried a bunch of different things, and sometimes we've only done it for a month or 2, and it really ended up just being a waste of money because we didn't do it long enough to see if it was going to prove the result we wanted or not. So really, if you're going to do anything, stick with it for at least a year. It's just another good piece of advice.
All right, so let's talk about principles. But I will say that I know some of you guys may be thinking like, hey, why don't I have somebody help me call or do all the calls for me, that's a different video. So here are some of the principles at work that we learned the long, hard, and very expensive way. So out of 100 leads, only 2 or 3 are going to be ready to do something right now by yourself. And if you're a great salesperson with great skills, especially qualifying, handling objections, and converting leads into sales, then you can maybe on a good month close 2 to 3%. And if you're only average to good, then we're talking maybe 1%. And you have to be lucky enough to get that 1% out of 100 that happens to be ready to buy or sell right now. Then there's speed to lead. So your odds of converting that lead after 5 minutes goes down. So let's say you're in the shower and you're in the shower for more than 5 minutes, you probably lost that lead. And out of 100 leads, only 1 to 3 are ready to go right now. But here's where the magic happens. Another 20% are ready sometimes in the next 12 months. So if you have a follow-up plan, system, strategy, then you can increase your conversion by at least 6 times. Most sales happen between the 5th and 12th follow-up. So you got to keep going. Follow-up takes stress off, and instead of chasing, they come to you when they're ready. In fact, 67% of buyers only interviewed one real estate agent during their home search. And 80% of recent sellers contacted only one agent before finding the right real estate agent to sell their home. So if you've already talked to the lead, you're already 70 to 80% the way there. All you have to do is follow up and keep in touch. And that's why we say fortune's in the follow-up. You need an email system because it's scalable and inexpensive. You need snail mail. I know, snail mail. But you need snail mail because it helps you stand out from the crowd. And also you need a video system because this helps people get to know you and position you as an expert.
Yep, that's great practical advice, Elise. And I'm glad that you kept watching because now we're going to reveal the 2 biggest hacks that can help you follow up so you can crush it with your clients and you can have a great career as a realtor. The first hack is staying top of mind. And for this, I like to utilize the toothpaste test. And maybe you can do this while you're watching. But I'm just going to ask you, what are your top favorite brands of toothpaste? 1 or 2 of those come to mind in that 4 or 5 second time span. That's what happens to most people. They say like Crest or Colgate. So in real estate, when somebody asks that question, who's your favorite realtor or who do you know that's a good realtor? If you're not number 1 or number 2 in somebody's brain, then you're not top of mind and you're not going to be the one that they're referring out. And another good way to think about that is like the insurance companies, right? The Geico Gecko and the Limu Emu and the Mayhem from Allstate. So all of those are ways for them to stay top of mind with us. And if you think about it, like if you watch an hour-long TV show, you're going to see the Geico Gecko 5, 6, 7 times during that hour, or the Limu Emu or the Mayhem guy. They just keep popping up, and not because Allstate thinks you're going to buy insurance between 7 and 8 o'clock at night while you're watching TV, but Allstate knows that they need to stay top of mind so that when you do think about renewing your insurance, either on a yearly basis or whenever that comes up for you, that they want to be top of mind. They want you to consider calling them and thinking about them and their brand of insurance, right? So that's what staying top of mind is all about. Second is strengthening the KLT factor. And for us, that's a shorthand for know, like, and trust factor, right? It's just the way it is that people are not going to work with you if they don't know you, like you, and trust you. And it's really just as simple as that. So you have to build that up over time. And that's what we call that know, like, and trust factor. And these work hand in hand. They go together because if you're not staying top of mind, then somebody could know you, like you, and trust you, but you still won't get their business. It happened to me. I have a cousin that we know really well. We know, like, and trust each other. And her and her husband ended up buying another house from another agent that they knew because we weren't top of mind for them when it came to that. We had the KLT factor, but we didn't have the top of mind factor, right? That's why those two got to go hand in hand together. And obviously the same is true the other way. If somebody doesn't know you, like you, or trust you, then you have to be the Geico Gecko or the Limu Emu. You have to stay at top of mind more and more so that you become somebody that they want to know, like, and trust. And again, if you're doing these together, it works like a charm. They really work simultaneously. And really just to kind of sum up, so if you have a good follow-up strategy that's utilizing these 2 hacks, then you're going to be in pretty good shape when it comes to getting that extra 20% that we're talking about. But if you have a great follow-up strategy, what that's going to entail is you're going to be utilizing these 2 hacks still, but it's going to be running on autopilot for you because you need to automate some of that to have it going, right? And this is a place where most agents never really get to, where they have a good follow-up strategy that doesn't take up a ton of their time to do it. And that's where I think Elise and I have really come together and made a great strategy. So that's why we just wanted to encourage you and to help you get to the place where you're being able to help more people and you'll be able to make more money and you'll have more time to enjoy it, because that's really the sweet spot for a real estate agent. And if we can do it, we know you can do it. We would just like to help you so that you can get there a whole lot faster than we did and on a more direct path, so you don't have to do all the inexpensive trial and error like we did.
Yeah, a lot of trial and error. And if you'd like to grow your business sales, build wealth, and have the life you dreamed of whenever you got into real estate, we would love to help you. Again, our information is in the description.
That's right. We would love to help you. And call us, text us, or email us. Thanks for watching. We're happy to be here in Miami, but still bring you value back wherever you're at. And as we like to say,
Boston Weird.
keep San Antonio cool.